have to remember indigenous people too have much to teach us about ourselves. We communicated telepathically by projecting our minds up through the open crown chakra on top of the head to enter into another's consciousness. Kundalini, which is life force in India, is represented by the goddess snake who awakens 7 chakras. Those are metaphysical spots located roughly, Westerners would say, from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. She awakens these chakras as she rises, transfiguring human consciousness.
Professionally, I was a sociologist and sociology of groups, the dynamics of groups. And we developed, this goes back 40 years, I think, to what we call the self-analytic group. So they were analyzing, and it turned out to be very, very productive for me. And in the meantime, I would go to silent meeting, or the Quaker meeting on Sunday, and I have, here's a group that's seeking through silence and trying to use psychoanalysis. That's what I am working on. How do we break through to the unconscious level? Learning the music that's being played.
We join together, even fuel each other at the unconscious level, just as a fire spreads.
Mao told me in Hilo before we left that, Nainoa, you do this trip and you find Tahiti, it is good for you, but it's better for me because I'm a teacher and I will not tell you anything. And unless it was a safety issue. Mao was in his compartment and he knew this was going to be, this is my moment, this was going to be my challenge. And would I be able to get there? And he knew that that's kind of the place that he's defining as the magic. And he knew I wasn't trained for it. And because I was too old. And so he opened up the hatch, he looks through the compartment hole, he sees me out there not knowing what to do, but he didn't interfere. He made a promise to me that he wasn't going to interfere. I went to the back rail and put my arms on the back rail. I locked my elbows so I could close my eyes to just try to get some rest, even though I would be standing up. Because I did not want the crew to see me lying down. We're in the doldrum belt, or the intertropical convergence zone, where the 2 biggest wind systems on the Earth, the northeast trade winds and the southeast trade winds on the equator, collide. Essentially create the cloudiest place on the Earth, the rainiest place on the Earth. And I feared that place in my training, because if I could see the stars, I could do anything. If I couldn't, I didn't believe I would do nothing. And so I feared that place. I would define myself as someone that knows mathematics and science. I come from that world. And in that body of knowledge and science, you cannot explain it. I didn't bring the magic. The magic came to me. It was 100% cloud cover, but not your typical kind of high overcast, high clouds. This is like the ceiling's down to 200 feet. The tops are probably at 40 to 50,000 feet. And the sun went down and everything went black. And I closed my eyes and actually, I don't know if you call it sleep, but you relax. And even though you're on the equator, the rain is cold because it's falling from high altitudes, collecting a lot of moisture, and it's hitting your gear and it's stinging you, and it's actually you're shivering in the doldrums. And in the coldness, in the fatigue, in the distrust of what you know and not believing, and all those kinds of elements, there was, and then letting your mind go was when this kind of warmth came in through me, and I don't know how you know, but I knew where the moon was. But more importantly, Mao knew, and he looked at the moon and he looked at me, and he went back to bed and closed the hatch. Anyway, for whatever worth, that's what happens on the voyaging canoe.